talk to Gage.
Pokemon Legends Arceus is a good game, and I recommend it. End of video. And we're gonna do the old classic set it up. Yeah, baby. Yeah, so Pokemon Legends Arceus is a very good game. I finished it last night as of the recording of this video, and I have some thoughts. There's some things I really like about the game.
Very good.
Some things that were a little disappointing going into it. Suck. And things that I really want them to change for the sequel, Pokemon Legends ZA, I think is what everyone's calling it. It's kind of a dumb name. But here's my thoughts. Let's get into it. So, obviously, this is the sort of revitalization of the Pokemon series for many people. Many people who think that the series has gotten too easy, too simple. And this is just something a little more difficult, a little different, you know, a little more immersive perhaps. And I really liked it. You know, the catching mechanics in this game are amazing. They're so cool. They're far more realistic, I feel like. They're far more, you know, like the anime. Growing up watching that, you know, it's like that, you know, like when I was a kid, that's what I imagined catching was always like, you know, because that's what they showed off in the anime. Now you can just kind of throw the Pokeball at Pokemon, and you know, if that doesn't work, then you can obviously battle them and catch them just like before. And it's amazing. I love how they did that and how they approached the design of this game, and I genuinely think it's objectively probably the best Pokemon game on Switch, even though I've made more memories and possibly had more fun with some of the other ones, which is really sad. I know I really enjoyed Shield and even Violet, for as stupid as I know that sounds. I just had fun with them. What am I really here to say? What do we really want out of that sequel? What does Pokemon need to do in this series, the Legends series, to be even better? I envision something that is similar to Legends in concept and in design, but taking a few notes from the SMT series and a few notes from even other games in this franchise, like Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, and maybe a few other ideas, mixing it all up. First thing I really want them to change, and what I think would be really cool, is maybe bring back double battles being the standard. You know, in most RPGs, you have a party of characters, and usually you can use like somewhere between like 3 to 4 of them, or if you're Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you can use all 10, all freaking 10 of them, which is great. Pokemon's always basically focused on individual battles, but Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube was a game that was focused entirely on double battles, and honestly, I kind of want them to revisit something like that. It doesn't really make any sense for me to just use one in the wild, because this is the first Pokemon game that really feels free. It feels like freedom and openness was kind of how they designed it. They wanted you to think about this game. Yet, I am forced to only throw out one Pokemon, even in fights where multiple Pokemon gang up on you, because that's something they can do in this game. I feel like more Pokemon out at once, even if it's just double battles, even if it's just 2, and the game is balanced around that, could instantly make the game more engaging, because between the switching mechanics and sometimes the long animations, you know, like this game is definitely the fastest Pokemon game, you know, that I've played. It's just like go, but it still can take a minute. It can still be a little long. So another thing that I really want, talking on switching, is switching mechanics in battle, and throwing the Pokeball should not work the way that it does. Instead, it should just be like every other part of the game. So in Legends Arceus, whenever you want to switch your Pokemon, you can even just switch them out by pressing like L and R, like you have been throughout, like outside of battles for the rest of the game, and then you just press ZR, like you're throwing the Pokeball, and it switches them out. Here's what I'm saying though, here's what I'm saying they need to change, is they need to change it from just once you press ZR, it just cuts to, you know, it starts doing cuts, and it cuts to the animation of like calling it back and then throwing it out. I think they should totally get rid of you having to sit there through that animation. And they should, you know, just a minor tweak that would make it so much better is you can still move around while you're switching. You know, they'll just like switch it out just like normal, and then, you know, they'll just like throw out the Pokeball no matter where you're standing. Like, that would be the easiest thing in the world to do, I feel like, and I really want to see that happen. And on top of that, I also would really like for the same thing to be done with throwing the Pokeball in battles. Why randomly do you have to sit through an animation like the old games in a battle when you throw a Pokeball? Like, that, what? That seems like such a weird decision.
You know what?
That is fresh.
What button is it? Yeah, there we go.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
And as far as like the difficulty and things like that, I think they've actually struck a pretty good balance. You know, Arceus is not a hard game by any means, but it's definitely more difficult, far more difficult, I feel like, than a normal Pokemon game. It definitely feels like the game is actually challenging you at parts, and that's good. I think that's a good place for Pokemon to be in terms of difficulty. Yeah, I think those are like the main changes. You know, I know I've only highlighted like a couple changes in this video, just like switching, just like animations basically, and then as far as battles go. But honestly, those are like the biggest things that I was noticing that I really want to see improvements on. Because as far as everything else, obviously like a fully open world would be definitely the right move to make, I feel. You know, doubling down on missions, you know, like side quests, that was also really cool to see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all that was like really on my mind that I wanted to talk about. You know, I by no means am like thinking of literally everything, so that's where I leave it to you all. If you all think of anything that you would really like to see in a new Pokemon game, new Pokemon Legends game, because that has been announced, then leave it down in the comments. Leave any of your thoughts down there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.